Joining me is Mr. Yap Haw Sim, whose topic will be the future-proof with business and computing studies. Over to you, Mr. Yap.
Hi. Thank you, Sam.
Hi.
Hi. Now should be good afternoon already, almost 12 o'clock, right? So good to see all of you here. All right, I mean e-meet to all of you. Yeah, it's almost lunchtime. Yeah, it's always very difficult to share during this kind of time, and they always put me during lunchtime. Okay, but anyway, I have about a short 30 minutes with all of you here. So I will just go jump straight to the topic because you all have received a lot of information since this morning. You have heard from Mr. Lau about accounting, and then just now our two wonderful this alumni, sharing about studying in US. Now, let me jump straight into our this future-proof programs or in terms of business and computing programs. Okay, now basically the journey starts, I think, maybe in 2019 or when we have our new leadership come on board. So we're recognizing that the strength of MCKL was in the pre-U programs as well as of course our American degree transfer program and the existing diploma that we have been doing. But knowing that the world is changing and it's really going into the digital IR 4.0 or even society 5.0. So there's a need for the college to really embrace this change and to help the future learners to really prepare themselves for the unknown and also for the future jobs. Okay, therefore a future education department was being set up in year 2020, and I was tasked to head the department to come up with these future-proof diploma programs. In preparing the future students for the upcoming jobs. All right. So probably one of the buzzwords that we always hear right now is the industrial revolution, or we call it the IR 4.0. So what is this really all about? Maybe I just want to run through this quickly so that all of us have that big idea and the context before we actually determine what kind of future career or future studies that we are able to that you are going to pick and study. Now, of course, when mankind exists, we started by going on the hunting, finding our own foods, and then later on growing our own foods. Until we have the first and second industrial revolution. So that changes the way we live. We move into something called the industrial society, which is also known as Society 3.0. All this happened after we have the steam power, we have a machine, being invented and able to do mass production in the factory. Then people started to have this idea called getting a job, in a factory. Previously, people don't have job. They actually work for their own. They grow their vegetables. They go for hunting and all that, right? Now then, later on, we went into something called the third industrial revolution, whereby a lot of electronics and computers are being invented during that time. That leads us to the society 4.0, which is currently we are somewhere, living in this society where we are having plenty of information every day. Either we ourselves are generating those content or actually we are receiving those content from people around us. So we are actually right now in this society 4.0. But then because of this a lot of electronic gadgets, because of computers being invented, and finally something called internet came about, right? So that actually changes the entire world and changes how we live our life. As we can see, when the internet is being invented, there is this that leads to explosive growth of communication and collaboration. Every day, each and every one of us, just like at the sensor, because we are creating content. We are the user-generated content, and then we speak to people over the internet, and then now we also learn remotely. But all this, leads to finally, we call it collective intelligence, because people can be able to connect so easily with each other. Therefore, we can do meaningful things together. In terms of academia, so definitely, people can come together to share knowledge and to actually learn from each other. So learning has really become borderless already. And because of this, we see there's an explosive growth of knowledge. Yeah, you probably have heard about this, or you maybe can Google about this called knowledge doubling curve, where knowledge used to just double, maybe every century. Yeah, but now, yeah, as we can see, during the 90s, knowledge starts to double, every 13 months, which means every 1 year you will see new knowledge, coming out, especially in the field of computing and also IT. But soon we can see that knowledge is going to increase so fast, probably every 12 hours. That means every day, you will see new knowledge coming out. And that's where it leads to the fourth industrial revolution because of internet, because of all this explosive growth of knowledge, and we are able to collaborate. Therefore, it leads to fourth industrial revolution. Now, what is this fourth industrial revolution? Basically, is the connection between cyber world and the physical world. Yeah, we just try to put it in a very layman terms. So we are in the physical world. Yeah, you physically sit at home, listening to this webinar, but we are connected to the cyber world through the internet, through this Zoom platform. Correct? So because there was so much of data, yeah, and information being generated from the physical world to the cyber world, and then in the cyber world, we do some form of artificial intelligence, machine learning to process those information, yeah, so that we can make more informed decision back in the physical world. So that's called physical, cyber, and then back to physical world again. Yeah, so that is some kind of a physical, cyber, physical loop. Okay, so you can see there are many things going on right now. Yes, the most common one, all of us are connected on social network, yeah, all form of social media. And then you have heard about this business or digital transformation that's going on, especially for the past one whole year, yeah, for business to continue to grow during such times. And then we also have smart home going on, yeah, people can actually use their electronic or mobile device, yeah, to connect to all form of electronic or electrical appliances at home. You can switch on your air conditioner, yeah, before you actually reach home. Yeah, so things like this are actually happening right now already, and all this as a result of fourth industrial revolution. And then soon we are going to see, unmanned car or autonomous cars coming up. The way we store our data will be on cloud computing, and because of this, we talk so much on cyber security or even ethical hacking. Yeah, ethical hacking. Yeah, and of course, data analytics, because there's so much of data being generated every day or every single second. So how are we going to process all this data to get useful information to help us to make informed, yeah, and intelligent decision? So all this are actually happening right now in the IR 4.0. And as a result of this, we can see something called disruptive innovation that's happening right now. Yeah, because we have so much information, data going on, so we can innovate and we can create new things to replace the old things, hopefully to improve our quality of life, right? Now, one simple example I can share with you about disruptive innovation and probably which you may experience. For example, we started with Rexall, then later on with improvement, it becomes Trizol. But all this happened maybe not too fast, quite slow. Yeah, but because of internet, because of IR 4.0, then we see that the changes and the improvement becomes so fast, so rapidly. For example, yeah, when we have taxi coming out, taxi was going on for quite a while until now we see e-hailing. Yeah, e-hailing happens, it's just only in the recent few years, and all this due to the apps that's available. Okay, and now we see things that are coming up soon: 5G, IoT, AI, data, and of course we know Tesla is working on this electrical vehicle. So very soon we may see something called the robot taxi will come. So this is a simple example just to show you what is disruptive innovation, and this is only in terms of the way we travel. Yeah, something how we from taxi it becomes e-hailing, and then later on a road taxi. So similarly, in all kind of industry, this form of disruptive innovation is going to happen. Yeah, and in fact, it's happening right now. Maybe we can't really feel it, but if you are actually working, yeah, in various industry, you can actually experience it. Yeah, maybe if we give another example in terms of education, I believe for the past one whole year, all of us experience studying at home remotely. That is a form of disruptive innovation already. Okay, so having said that, we know, the world is changing so fast. Knowledge is going to grow, so rapidly. So how we can prepare for the future, especially young generations like all of you out there who are listening to this webinar today. If you are in your early, young adults, maybe 17, 18, all right, trying to go for higher education for another 3 to 4 years before you step into the society. So how you shall actually prepare yourself. So I just want to share three tips that as an education institution, we find that these three tips are relevant, are useful for you, so that you can prepare yourself to be future proof. Now, the first one is you need to learn how to learn. So it's no longer about memorizing, scoring A's in the exam anymore. Yeah, I think not only in US, in any part of the world, the entire education system and mindset has started to change. We emphasize so much on teaching the students or the learners to acquire the ability to learn, because we know lifelong learning is going to be a new lifestyle. It's a must, something that's happening already. In fact, we have this quote, people have said, the illiterate is no longer those who cannot read and write like those days. Yeah, but now in the new century, those who are illiterate are those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Yeah, so ability to learn, to acquire knowledge. And nowadays, information is everywhere on the internet. You can learn so many things, but how to differentiate, how to identify, this kind of knowledge are actually reliable, or the source is actually credible. That becomes something that we need to learn nowadays. Okay, so what we are trying to do in MCKL when we teach is no longer teaching to the test. It's no longer memorizing and then vomit out or reproduce what you have memorized in the exam. In that way, you are not going to do well, because as what I think our two young men have shared just now in US, they ask for your opinion. Same thing is happening in Malaysia also. It's not only in US. In fact, the Australian system is also like that. Yeah, British system is changing soon. Okay, so we know we need to teach students to be able to, exercise their cognitive skills, to be able to express, their opinion, in order to survive or to continue to stay relevant, in the coming, in the future world. Okay, so that's the first tip. Always acquire your learning skills, right? So when we teach, we emphasize so much of active learning. In class, it's no longer your lecturer going to teach and then you just sit there and at the receiving mode and then copy down every single words. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, it's about you sharing and talking, exercising your brain. So this is called active learning. No longer sit there and do passive learning anymore. All right. Now, second tips, you must know what to learn. Just now we talk about learning skill. You learn how to learn. So once you have the skills, you can learn anything in the future, wherever you go, right? But it's also important to know what to learn, because there's so many things to learn right now. Yeah, you can't be good in everything. So it has to pick up a few things which are relevant, of course, according to your field, your interests, and also your strength. Yeah, so there are a lot of tests available to able to help you how to identify your strength, or maybe something that suits your personality. You can go through this kind of test if you feel that you are unsure, what kind of field that you want to study. Now here, I just want to share with you, based on this a few reports from World Economic Forum, we know that in the future there will be a lot of new jobs. Yeah, that's why we can't actually ensure any learners, okay, you study this particular program, you are definitely going to be safe. You surely can get a job in the future, until you retire. No such thing, because the knowledge is changing so fast, the world is changing so rapidly, right? But with the learning skills, you are able to progress according to the times. Okay. Now, based on World Economic Forum, at least now we have a guideline. Now, they listed down 7 different clusters, which they call it as the emerging professions. So as you can see here, these 7 clusters involve this data and AI, okay, engineering, cloud computing, Now, care economy is basically referring to aged care or even child care. All right. So it's something to do more, a little bit more on medical, especially if you are talking about aged care. Green economy is about sustainability, about how to preserve our environment. Product development is basically about how to come up with products that will continue, to add values and benefits mankind. Yeah, all sorts of products. So it's a very wide spectrum. People and culture more into HR, talent management, talent development. Nowadays you see a lot of terminology like this. And sales, marketing, culture, of course, is the evergreen industry. Any places you go, at the end of the day, it's still about business, how to grow the company, to continue to be sustainable. Now, I just want to zoom into two fields today, which is data and AI, and then sales, marketing, and culture. Now, in the same report, this is an extract, as you can see. These are the future jobs, right, listed by World Economic Forum in relation to sales, marketing, and content. You can see nowadays so many things on social media assistant, social media coordinator, digital marketing specialist, all these kind of jobs, not even there maybe 5 to 10 years ago. Okay, very soon you are going to see a company hiring a social media or maybe chief media officer, something like that, right? Now, this is in relation to sales, marketing, content. Now, on the other hand, on data and AI, you can see, so many things on data scientist, data engineer, data analyst. So this will be the I'll call that the field of studies right now and for the future, at least for the next 5 to 10 years. It will still be relevant. Now, besides these clusters of professions, so we know there are 7 clusters, and then I have shown you sales, marketing, and then data and AI. These are some of the upcoming jobs or emerging jobs. In the same report, World Economic Forum also pointed out the skill clusters. So having knowledge in business, in data and AI are not sufficient. You need to have some form of skill sets. So what are the skill sets being mentioned? There are 5 clusters. Now, the first 2, I will not touch on it because first one is very specialized. If you are looking into engineering, this green economy, care economy just now, of course, you need those specific industrial skill sets. Yeah. Now, tech disruptive, this is more on programming, cloud, cyber security, all this. That means you're going to come out with disruptive innovation. Then you will probably need specialized skill sets. Now, I want to share with you the 3 others which are more common, which all of us should acquire. The first one is the tech baseline skills. This refers to basic computer or digital literacy. At least in order for you to continue to stay relevant, now is a must. We need to know Microsoft, at least your Microsoft Office. You know how to use a PowerPoint presentation. You will know how to use a spreadsheet, which is your Microsoft Excel. These are very basic stuff. Okay. Now, the 4th one is general and soft skills. Again, having only knowledge and all the hard skills will not be able to ensure job employability in the future. Soft skill is still a must. You see, since those days until now, regardless how the world is going to change, soft skills are still relevant. Now, that refers to communication skills, collaborative skills, whether are you able to collaborate with people or not, critical thinking skills, leadership. Now, all these are very important, which hopefully after you have gone through more than 10 years of your education since your elementary school and your high schools, you have somehow developed certain form of skills in this area. And the last one is business skills. As you can see, we come from technical background, right? Some form of business skills is very important. I just spoke to one of my former students recently. Yeah, of course, his undergraduate was in engineering. Yeah, but then he did an MBA, and now he is actually leading a business development department in his company. So he told me it's very important. If you only have all the technical skills, maybe you are not versatile enough. Yeah, so as from a technical person, now he moved on to business. What I call the business portfolio, talking about strategy, how to bring the company, the tech company, right, into another level, how to continue to drive the company to stay relevant in the future. So it's very important. Now, when I mention business skills, it refers, the reports actually pointed out, they are able to manage projects. So project management is important. How to do budgeting, how to do strategy. These are all important business skills. And of course, just now our Mr. Lau also mentioned how to do taxation. All this is very important. Okay. Now, having said that, by referring this, what you call it, the World Economic Forum report, MCKL, when we set up the future education department, we know, yeah, these fields of studies will become very important and relevant for the students. So we came out with diploma in computer science, which major or specialize in data science. And then we also have diploma in information technology, specializing in Internet of Things. Now, Internet of Things basically refers to how you get gadgets and devices to talk to each other through the Internet. So smart home is one of the very important or emerging field in the area of Internet of Things. Okay. And then we also have diploma in e-commerce, which actually cover a very wide perspective or spectrum in terms of digital business. Okay, because business from A to Z, yeah, end to end is a very comprehensive kind of process. So we will actually cover that in this diploma, and of course, diploma in digital marketing. Now, almost all companies, are thinking how to continue to promote their products and services, to the public through digital marketing platform. Yeah, it's no longer conventional field of study in marketing. That doesn't work anymore, right? So basically, all these diplomas. We will have 3 intakes in a year: the January, May, and August intake. So our upcoming intake will be in August. To be exact, the classes start on the 16th of August. And it will be a 2.5 years program, where the last semester, the 7th semester, is a compulsory 12-week of internship. Yeah, we want the students to go through internship, in order to learn better and become more competent and relevant in the industry. Now, entry requirement for the diplomas in computing program, the computing related programs, is a pass in SPM with minimum 3 credits, now inclusive of your mathematics. So you must have your 3 credits including mathematics. Now, for the business program, you just need 3 credits. Very simple. Okay. Now, after this, so that is the second tips, knowing what to study. Now, the last tip that I want to share with you today will be you must be able to showcase what you have studied or what you have learned. It's very important because your future employers, or even if you are talking into entrepreneurship, your clients want to know your portfolio before they can engage your product or your services. Now, what do I mean by knowing or showing what you have learned? So we are going into a direction called helping the learners to build a case for themselves. How to build a case for themselves? It's no longer the academic transcript. Of course, it will be still there, saying that what are the subjects, what kind of grades that you have acquired throughout the whole 7th semester. But on top of that, it's very important that you start building up your portfolio. So in this portfolio, and now with digital world, it's very easy. It will be e-portfolio. No longer carry a big file and go for your interview. Need not. You just need to set up e-portfolio. Maybe LinkedIn is one of the simple platform where you can start to actually showcase your portfolio, what you have learned, throughout all these 7 semesters. And not only that, in your portfolio, it's important to showcase some of the industrial certification. That's why the 4 diplomas that we have developed is not an ordinary diploma like any institution out there. So we want to actually add values and prepare our students, to at least make sure they are relevant and able to get a job, after the diploma or even after the degree. So it's important, for example, like the diploma in computer science, majoring in data science, right? So we teach students SAS. SAS, for your information, is a software widely used in the industry. So when you go for your interview, when you can actually showcase in your portfolio, hey, you have actually done, this SAS, you know how to use the software to solve various problems, then you stand a better chance. You stand out among all the peers and all the applicants. Now, Google Certified, of course, is something very common. This one more related to digital marketing. AWS academies are more related to cloud computing, which is now there's a huge shortage in terms of cloud practitioner, a qualified cloud practitioner. So people are looking for that kind of talent. Now, ICDL, of course, is basically helping students to prepare themselves with basic computer and digital literacy. For example, just now I mentioned about spreadsheets and PowerPoint presentation, information literacy. So all this, we make it compulsory for students, especially information literacy is one of the compulsory subjects for our diploma program. Now, our students, when they graduate, not only with a diploma transcript, or scroll, they will also get this additional certification from SAS, for those who are doing data science. Imagine if you have this data science and machine learning, come on, wow, immediately you are very different compared to all the other people who doesn't have this. And of course, nowadays, we don't carry all this kind of paper qualification anymore. It will be in the form of digital badge. So that one you can just put in on your LinkedIn profile. Then your employer can just click on it and see, wow, you have all this. You stand better chance. This is for AWS, the cloud practitioner. So this is one of the certification from our lecturer. Of course, I changed the name. Our lecturer name is not John Smith, it's somebody else. Okay, just to protect the data. Now, so this is very important. Okay, so industrial certification. Now, besides that, industrial training is also very important. We spoke to a lot of our industry advisory panel. So basically, all of them say the same thing. When they go through interview, they want to know, this particular applicant, this particular candidate, what you have, they say, what have this person actually learned, throughout the entire academic studies? What kind of problems have they solved? They want to know. And they also want to know, have this particular person gone through any industrial training, and preferably 10 to 12 weeks. If it's too short, they say, maybe they are not able to learn too much things and very limited exposure. Probably they just go to the office, do some clerical work only. So they actually advise us, best is to put in 10 to 12 weeks of this internship. Of course, 6 months is a bit too long. So 10 to 12 weeks is just reasonable. So we have all these industry partners who are already have an understanding with us, agree to provide internship opportunity for our students, as well as career opportunities. Of course, provided on whether you meet their requirements or not. You still have to, we open the door, but you still have to walk through the door by yourself. Because you have to work hard to showcase, yourself, your skill set, and your attitude. And finally, this graduate competency framework that we developed in MCKL. So we know, the world is changing. So how are we preparing our learners? So first, of course, knowledge is still a must, and it has to be a future-proof curriculum. So we mentioned about those new diplomas, which are very much in need or in demand for the future. Second, I touched on the skill set just now, right? So information literacy is one of our compulsory subjects. And finally, it will not be complete if you do not have this good attitude. So it's a tradition and a legacy of MCKL where all our students must do 2 compulsory subjects, which are character formation as well as service learning. And I must share this. These 2 modules are able to actually put you as a student in a better position compared to your peers. I have these students who went for this scholarship interview under this YTL. So I believe out of 200 applicants, if I'm not mistaken, only 5 are awarded, and he was one of it. But he wasn't the really top student scoring, perfect score, but of course above average. But he told me during the interview, he shared so much about his service learning experience, where he volunteered at Zoo Negara to take care of elephant, including how to clean clean up all this messy stuff from the elephant. Okay, and that basically impress the interviewees, put it that way. Okay, interviewers. Okay, sorry. Now, so you have knowledge, skills, and attitudes. All this we put together, and of course backed up by MCKL 10 core values. We want to help you to stay competent, so that you can have a job security in the future. All right. So this is basically 3 tips. These are the 3 tips that I want to share with you in order to be future-proof. Just a quick recap. First is learning how to learn. So the active learning skill is important, and we will integrate that in our teaching. Second, knowing what to learn. So I share about the field of studies, which are emerging field, including the skill sets. And the last one is to start building a case for yourself, so that you can show what you have learned to your future employers, your future clients as well. All right. Now, I still have a bit of time. just go through very quickly why we choose a diploma. Yeah, so diploma basically will be able to help you to prepare for employment. Yeah, that is the reason why we have diploma. So in general, it's a 2 year or 2.5 years program. After diploma, you can straight to join the workforce. This probably for people who want to take a break or maybe take a slower pace in your tertiary education. So diploma normally is one of the consideration because after the study, for whatever reason, maybe they just want to take a break, they want to work first, either to accumulate some funding or maybe accumulate certain experience. Now, of course, if you don't wish to join the workforce immediately, you can still continue to your bachelor degree. Usually, students can enter second year of the bachelor degree, and then they will complete the 3 or 4 years kind of degree studies. Then only they start to work, also possible. Or else, you can still continue with your postgraduate studies and then finally come out to work. Of course, when I say work, also including of maybe starting your own business. So therefore, if we look at this route, when we design a diploma or when people go for diploma, this diploma basically number one is very specialized. Yeah, for example, our computer science diploma is actually majoring in data science. And then just now you see we have digital marketing. It's very specialized so that students will acquire skills for employment. Yeah. So once you go through the diploma in digital marketing, you definitely can work in a digital marketing related kind of job, right? Now we also spoke to a lot of our industry partners. We asked a very, the most concerned questions by students and parents. Will they be able to get a job or not if it's just a diploma? And the answer is yes, because nowadays they told us they don't really look at diploma or degree. Of course, certain jobs maybe they require degree. But usually when they come to hiring, paper qualification is just one of the considering factor. They want to look at your portfolio. That's why just now I mentioned showing what you have learned is so important. And finally, those people who are going for diploma is also want to strengthen their skills and knowledge in certain area to prepare for them into entrepreneurship. So for example, e-commerce, cloud computing, even digital marketing as well. Nowadays, I've seen a lot of young people become freelance marketer. Yeah, they become freelance digital marketer. So they help companies, to actually manage their social media platform. So these are the reasons why people go for diploma studies, right? And of course, the degree pathway we are aware is still important. Yeah, people will still want to have an option to continue their study. So MCKL actually work together with University of South Australia to be able to provide the degree pathway. Yeah, so University of South Australia, for your info, is number one in Australia for quality education. And they are considered the young university. When we say under 50 means below 50 years. So they are ranked in the world top 50 under 50. And number 10 in Australia for employer this satisfaction. Top 5 young university in Australia, and number 2 young university in Australia for teaching quality. So we choose to partner with University of South Australia. In short, it's UniSA. Okay. Now, after gone through our 2.5 years diploma, right, students can actually join UniSA for 1 more year to get a Bachelor of Information Technology. This is a very good deal. Yeah, and in fact, it's a very short study duration as well. Yeah, because 2.5 year with MCKL, 1 more year in UniSA Australia. So the total duration is only 3.5 years. You complete your degree. Okay. Now, of course, if you want to major in data science, probably you need 1.5 years. Slightly need to study a bit more. And software engineering conventionally is just a 4 years program. So now you do 2.5 years with MCKL, another 2 years with UniSA. So 4.5 years, you complete a bachelor in software engineering. And just for your information, estimated fees and living expenses in Adelaide is roughly about 52,000 Aussie dollar per year. So that will help you to save 2.5 years or 2 to 3 years kind of fees, at the beginning. You just need to go there for the final year. So this is one of the options that we provide. And of course, transfer to other university, either locally or overseas, is not an issue. It's also available. Yeah, but we thought UniSA is one of the strong partner that we have, that we will want to provide the pathway for our students. Okay. Program fees, I think, we can touch on this just last 1-2 minutes. Now, upon application, of course, the standard It's 1,500 to the application fees, 500 to deposit. Now the program fees is actually total 28,800 progressively over 7 semesters. But since this is a new programs that we are launching in this August, yeah, so we are actually giving the inaugural kind of a tuition fee waiver. So we are giving 50% tuition fee waiver just for this cohort only. And of course, you need to maintain CGPA of 2.2. So eventually, you are only paying 17,100, yeah, for the diploma program, and you can save up, for you to go Australia for those who are aiming to go there. Yeah, but of course, if you feel that maybe financially is still a little bit concerned, and we understand. Yeah, that's why MCKL we come out with something, yeah, to help those who are maybe impacted during this pandemic. So we cross out the entire this program fees. You just pay only 1,000. Okay, so you go for this 100% MCKL industry joint scholarship. So we are very honored, and in fact we feel very happy, yeah, when we actually put this idea forward. A lot of our industry partners are very keen, yeah, to sponsor our students. So right now I think we have 2 to 3 scholarships available, yeah, so for those 4 programs that we have mentioned. But of course, you need to make sure you meet the requirements. All right, so I think that's all from me. So maybe we can take some questions from here. Back to you, Samantha. Any question?
Hi, Mr. Yap. Yes, we do have some questions. This question is coming from Miss Sue Ann Lim. Are all the diplomas in KL campus only, or do they offer them in Penang as well?
Oh yes. So currently for August intakes, all these diplomas will be starting in KL campus, and then once our Paiket campus starts operation next year, these 4 diplomas will also be launched in a Penang campus.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so as many companies' requirement states a degree in the related field, would a diploma be enough? Especially in this era that provides
Yeah.
job security.
Yeah, definitely. So we have the same concern. So that's why we put forward these questions to all our industry partners. Yeah. So in fact, the answer that I mentioned just now, they shared with us. Well, certain job definitely they want to go for degree. For example, if you are looking for engineering, professional studies, engineering, law, medical, of course, yes, degree. But other than that, not really so much on the paper or the academic qualification anymore. As I mentioned, they want to know. Yeah, there's no point if you come out with a degree in computer science, but then at the end, you cannot or you do not know how to do SAS or something like that. So at the end of the day, it's just they still want to look at your profile. So if your profile has specific skill sets which they are looking for, and which is very hard to find right now, then you have a better chance. But of course, don't stop at diploma. You can continue your degree. All right. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Yap. I have another question. Let's say if a student does not meet the entry requirements, would they still be able to do the program, the whole diploma, or is there any other way for them
this
to
is
join?
very, very good question. And now that's why the education is also being disrupted. It's another disruptive innovation. So now for those who who don't meet the entry requirement, what you can do now is you can still take up certain modules under micro credential. Now let me explain very quickly. Now the difference is if you enroll into diploma, you will need to finish the 7th semester, then you will be awarded a diploma certificate. But for whatever reason, maybe you can't enroll into a full-time program or even a part-time program yet. What you can do is, or maybe you don't meet the entry requirement, what you can do is you sign up under micro-credential, meaning you take up certain subject in the diploma program. For example, we may have 30 subjects, but you maybe take those subjects one by one. So in a semester, you may take 2-3 micro-credential subjects. At the same time, you can still go and work elsewhere, or still can resit your SPM or IGCSE to earn the minimum entry requirement. So that is still possible. Of course, if you need more clarification, you can speak to myself or even our counselor. Yeah.